Hi, I'm Eric Dahl, the creator of the Independent Business Method. Welcome to part 3 of our 5-part series, the Independent Business Tell-All interview, featuring one of our Independent Business Builder community stars, Ed Wagner, owner and founder of Empire Property Management. In this episode, we're diving into breaking free, why a prime selling system lets your business thrive independently. Discover how Ed implemented the prime selling system to achieve the freedom and scalability every business owner dreams of.
You are needed other places in your business that you're going to, that is more important for you to be in than just sales. So, and two, probably more important is this. Yeah, nobody's going to sell as well as you except for a sales system.
I'm Eric Dahl, owner of Dahl Integration Marketing and creator of the Independent Business Method. I help business owners build independent businesses that grow without them so they have time freedom, the ability to sell their business for top dollar, pass on to the next generation, or simply collect checks while they explore the world. Today, there's a new breed of business owner in the world, one that's not tied down by their business, but is in complete control of their business. And you can become this new independent business owner. We call ourselves independent business builders, where you're not dependent on any one marketing or advertising strategy to grow your business. You're not dependent on any one employee or supplier. You're not dependent on any government. You're not dependent on any banks or investors. Instead, you exist in a world where you control your time and income.
A sales system will outsell you every single time, because you can't be everywhere at once. You can't always be on the phone. You can't always be responding to emails. You can't always be meeting with all the clients, especially as your business grows and you're needed other places in your business. You cannot be everywhere at once. So when your business is small, yeah, you're the best sales there is. But if you want your business to grow, the next step, the next best step is to have a sales system, and that sales system will outsell you. It will outsell you.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So we got that. So you got the sales system. I call it the independent business prime offer selling system. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
And then once you have that in place, then you start to transition into phase 2, which is the runs without you piece. And yeah, how about we walk through that a little bit?
So runs without you. Again, back from our earlier in the
Yeah.
conversation, that's where the real pain starts. Um, it if you're an entrepreneur and there's a lot of pride in your work and everything else, and the biggest part, there's two parts of it really, but the most difficult part was probably just getting me to let loose of the tasks that I really took pride in how well I did. So I really think that, I'm one of the best property managers there are. And it was tough for me to let loose of those tasks that I thought only I could do. And guess what? There's nobody in this world that's that's not replaceable. Everybody can be replaced. And again, just like the sales system, I thought I was the best property manager, except a property management system is better than me. And so, because again, you come up against a wall where there's only so much of you to go around. So as your business grows, there's limits to you. And so all of a sudden you're not the best property manager because you can't be everywhere at once like a system can be.
Yeah.
And so, but it's tough to get. So once you've resigned yourself to the fact that you're going to hire people to do these tasks that you've been doing for so many years, then you have to build the system, and every business is a little different, right? So you can't completely standardize this process because every business has a little different jive to it. And so runs without you is probably our biggest obstacle. And you what we did is we built a framework of what we wanted our company to look like. Okay. And then I would grow the business. I talked about that point of pain, right? Where you're uncomfortable, you have way too much business, it hurts like really bad, because you're working so much. But that's how you grow the business to a point to where you can afford to hire that first employee. As you
Yeah.
have to grow it past the point where you're, covering all your own expenses. So you grow it up, then you
Yeah.
hire somebody, and I already had the structure in place thanks to Eric and phase two.
Recently, I compiled a 1 hour tell all interview video, audio, transcript, checklist, 3 part video series, masterclass, and on demand training valued at $297 into this free independent business case study kit. It reveals the insider secrets of how our offline and online business owners build businesses that grow, run, and scale without them, and I want you to have it. You can access it for free right now. The link is in the description.
We already had the structure in place. So first things first is I can't be at the office all the time, so I needed somebody to answer phones and run the front office. Well, we already had that position built. Already had it built. So it was a slam dunk. We already had a plan. I need to grow the business to this income level before I can afford to hire my first employee. And so we had that plan. We grew it to that point, and then boom, we pulled the trigger, found somebody that fit the position well. I still didn't have a hiring funnel yet, so it was really kind of manual. But at that point, it was okay because I'm just hiring one employee.
Yeah.
So, but we had the position built. I see so many people. Matter of fact, I was at a trade show. I was teaching a class. That's right. I was teaching a class on screening, and one of my competitors was taking my class, and one of his customers was also in the class. I have no idea why his customer was in the class, but they were. So after the class, they were chit chatting, and my competitor was saying, "Yeah, my business is really growing. I know I need to hire another employee. I just don't know what I'm going to do with them." And I'm thinking, what a terrible way of running a business. Absolutely the worst to hire somebody without knowing what they're going to do. So with phase two, I knew exactly what that employee was going to do. I knew what their job description was. I knew what their hours were. I knew how much I could afford to pay them. I knew how much I had to grow the business to be able to afford them. And so I had a plan, you know,
Yeah.
uh, a map of where I was and where I wanted to go.
And this is probably a good point, to kind of interject a little bit in terms of, how I define a system, right? Because I feel like it's a word that so many people throw around there all the time. Oh, I got a system. I got a system. And then when you sit there and you talk to them, and I'm sure you've had this experience too, you ask them, okay, well, okay, what's your system? Let me see it. It's like, well, I don't have it written down. I don't actually have it, you
Yeah.
know, documented or anything. And so that's always the first thing is you want to document your processes,
Yep.
right? Actual, you be able to show it, right? It's tangible.
So
And
in
then
the
that's
beginning,
actually what you train, right? When you hire someone, you train them on your system.
right.
And I've been actually going as far as to say that actually really a system is something is not just documented, but it's something where the business owner, it can happen without the business owner being involved. So that's actually a true system. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Documentation is really just a process, right? Just documentation is a process, but a system is where you can literally either automate or delegate that.
So
So
in the beginning, we just had, it takes a while to build. We call it our operations manual.
yeah,
Okay. And the operations manual has, evolved over time. At first, our operations manual was just a couple of pages, brief description of the job, just basically an outline, so to
mhm,
speak. So we started with just an outline of where at first just a paragraph of where we want the company to go. Because if you don't have an idea of where you want it to go, well, what point is there? You gotta have an idea of where you want this business to take you.
yeah,
So we did that, just a brief description, and then you start an outline of what you want the company structure, what you think you want the company structure to look like. Okay, and so then you start breaking down the positions. And so in the beginning, it was, like, a few pages. And then as you fill the positions, you're not finished building the system because things are not always perfect. You can't truly envision So as you've heard the saying, "Ready, fire, aim." I really kind of live by that.
Yeah.
These days, um, I aim more than I just fire. But some people are really terrified to fire, and so they just aim for their whole life. So you do have to ready yourself, and then you have to jump in at some point, and you're going to make mistakes, and that's where and you're going to have wrong conclusions of how you thought things were going to break down. But that's okay. That's all part of the process. So
Yeah.
your process just evolves as things go. So now our operations manual, because we're not really ever finished with it either. So we're always fine tuning the business a little bit and things like that. So the operations manual went from a few pages to a book, and we would simply just pull sections out, because we have front desk, we have leasing, and we have management, and then we have admin, right? So there's four main blocks of the company. So
Yeah.
leasing is a section all of its own. So you just pull that out, and that is the system for your leasing department. Okay, and then you pull another one out. This is a system. So it used to be digitized in the fact that it was all like Word documents, things like that. Now we've taken it, and you take that same system out, and we put it online. And so we have the outline, and everything is all there. And then as I hire employees, I would go through a training route, and I would record them. I learned that from Eric. So you record the training.
Recently, I compiled a 1-hour tell-all interview video, audio, transcript, checklist, 3-part video series, masterclass, and on-demand training valued at $297 into this free independent business case study kit. It reveals the insider secrets of how our offline and online business owners build businesses that grow, run, and scale without them, and I want you to have it. You can access it for free right now. The link is in the description.
Thanks for joining us for part 3 of our 5-part series, the Independent Business Tell-All interview with Ed Wagner, owner and founder of Empire Property Management. Today we explored breaking free, why a prime selling system lets your business thrive independently. Be sure to join us for part 4, where we'll uncover building an independent business, systems to attract, hire, and train the best so your business runs without you. You won't want to miss how Ed leveraged the independent business method to build a team and systems that transformed his business into an independent powerhouse.